today is going to be garden talk, outside in the garden. So I'm just going to be answering a whole lot of questions that people have asked me. Forgive my little setup. I'm an amateur at YouTubing. So yeah, I'm a little nervous, y'all, so please forgive me. Okay, so let's get started. Hey, listen, I'm going to get comfortable. This is going to be a really lengthy video. I'm waving at my neighbor. They kind of spying on me. They're like, who is she out there talking to? So anyway, yeah, okay, so forgive the ice cream truck in the background. I should run out there and get me a rainbow ranch ice cream. Anyway, okay, let's get started. Now, I was waiting all of this time for the background to be quiet. I hear fire trucks. I hear the ice cream truck. People honking horns. Dogs barking. I'm like, wait a minute, it was just quiet. I just waited for the whole neighborhood to kind of silent so I could do this video. Okay, anyway, let's get started. Okay, so today's garden talk. I'm going to help you to understand what my channel is about, and I'm going to help you learn how to grow. I will list below the video some bulletins about what we discussed in this video in case you want to fast forward it to that part of the video, because you only want to hear that part. Nobody wants to hear me talk all day, so you could do that. Okay, so what my channel is about. Guys, I am helping you grow from containers. This has just been my experience. You don't have to do this. Growing from containers can be an investment. We're going to talk about all of that. And soon as this stinking ice cream truck goes, okay, y'all, I'm going to have to pause the video until this ice cream truck leaves. Hold on just a moment. Okay, back to business. Okay, so what my channel is all about. Okay, so I used to own a restaurant in Arizona, and I recently closed it. Well, I didn't recently close it. I've closed it now for a year or so, a year or two ago. So I just wanted to just kind of help you guys to understand that the cooking part of my channel is from my chef experience, from running my restaurant and things like that. But I've also became like really knowledgeable about growing food as well, and I'm real big on healthy eating, and I'm just real creative about how to combine those two, my gardening and my cooking. So that's why I created this channel. A lot of people, like, they're like super great farmers and gardeners and stuff like that. Hold on one second. Whew. Okay, a lot of people are like super great farmers and stuff like that, and they grow things that I definitely can't grow. I'm not an expert at growing stuff or a farmer or anything like that, but I've gotten fairly decent at what I do, you know. So I do my stuff in containers because I actually lived in an apartment. And when I lived in an apartment, I always wanted a garden. I like wanted fresh herbs and stuff, because I used to go to the grocery store to get those things for my cooking channel and stuff. And I was like, you know what? It sure would be nice to grow my stuff, you know, but I didn't have the space to do it. So I was like, I should be able to grow some herbs on the inside of my house. So I started growing like basil and rosemary and all of those herbs that you can grow inside your house, and I was really successful at it. I went out and I was like, oh my God, I'm so addicted. And I went to Home Depot and I started getting starter plants, and then I got grow lights, and then I got all of this stuff to start my garden on the inside of my house. And the next thing I know, I had this. Yeah. And I learned so much stuff along the way. So yeah. So what I have learned is that soil makes a difference, and if you're going to be growing on the inside of your house, you have to be prepared for that. You know, the soil makes a difference, because commercial soil, a lot of bugs live in the soil. And if you're going to be growing food on the inside of your house, you're going to have gnats and bugs and butterflies and stuff growing out of the soil. So that's what I talk about on this channel, to help you. I'm like, okay, wait a minute, how do I combine the food and the growing of the vegetables and the herbs and stuff and indoor your house? And I'm like, I can do all of that stuff on my own channel. Shoot, why I can't? You know, I'm my own boss. So that's how I started my garden on the inside of my house. I'll post pictures so you guys can see what it looked like when I started. I had like a ton of plants on the inside of my house, food plants, and I'm not interested in like growing a whole bunch of pretty flowers and stuff like that, but I'm a foodie to the second power, so I'm going to grow me some food and I'm going to get good at it. So that's where the containers derived from. So here I moved into a house now, and I have a little bit more space and backyard and stuff like that, but I don't know if I'm going to be here permanently all the time. So I'm like, well, before I invest in my gardening and stuff like that, I gotta decide if I'm going to stay here. But I want to continue to garden, so I shouldn't have to wait to do that. So I don't have to wait. I bought containers, and that way I can take my investment with me. Let's talk about the investment, and if you're going to do this from your apartment. So it can get expensive if you allow it to, but it doesn't have to be. You know, if you want to, okay, let's start with and say, if you want to grow food or have a little garden just for the fun of it, you know, then in your mind, or how you should go about it, should be a minimal budget. You know, you don't have to buy these containers and things like that. You don't have to buy these containers, period. But if you're going to do gardening on a scale to which I do it, I incorporate my food and I incorporate, you know, my growings, and it's all to build a business and things like that. So it's definitely an investment for me, you know. So, and I got so excited about the gardening part of it that I had to put myself on a budget, because every time I went to Home Depot or Lowe's or a nursery, nurseries are expensive, by the way. Stay out of nurseries if you can, and definitely get you some seeds. And if you can stay away from the starter plants from like Lowe's or Home Depot, definitely do that. You know, but it's all a process, and you have to be very organized if you want to do it. You know, so if you want to start a garden, first you need to decide on if you are doing it just for the fun of it, or are you doing it to build a business, or are you going to invest in this and teach people. You know, it doesn't have to necessarily be a business, but it can definitely get expensive if you're not focused on what the goal is going to be. Does that make sense? I hope so. So anyway, for me, it was an investment. So that's why you see these containers right here and those on the other side. And I have a ton of food in them. I'll show you guys what this stuff looks like in a moment. How about we just take a look? So I have kale, I have herbs, I have artichoke, cantaloupe, watermelon, basil, yellow spaghetti squash, cabbage. I have so much stuff. I just replanted my collard greens, y'all. So they kind of take a fall a little bit. They look like they lumped over, but they just went into shock. But they will rebuild themselves back up and stand strong again pretty soon. So forgive that they look a little laid over, but they're still alive and they're still working. I have banana plants. What else I have over here? I have blackberries. I have celery. Red peppers, blueberries, broccoli, lettuce, all in containers. This is what I choose to put my stuff in for now. Hey, have you guys ever grown peanuts? I'm excited about that plant. Yeah. And here goes some of my other herbs, my parsley, which is growing like a tree, strawberries, cilantro. Rosy pak choi is like a Chinese salad lettuce, And here's my orange Swiss chard. Yeah, so you can grow so much stuff in these containers. The business. Don't judge me, y'all, because I'm really just trying. I'm trying to teach y'all some stuff because I do know a little something. I'm not proclaiming to be the best chef. I'm not proclaiming to be the best gardener or anything like that. These are just things that work for me. You can take a few of my tips from me or you can trash them. You know, there's other YouTubers out there you can follow. But this is just what I choose to share with you guys. And I hope that you guys have a wonderful harvest and journey with gardening. And it's actually really, really fun. And it can be so relaxing. You know, I come out here and I bring my music. I have my boost box out here. And I have my little sippy sip. And I be in the zone. You know, I be in a world to myself. And when I come back in for the end of the day, I'm relaxed. I'm chilling. I'm feeling good, you know. So I also do videos about how to cook with what you grow. So a lot of people say if you're going to start growing, don't get vegetables that you don't eat. I say throw that whole thing away. You need to change your diet and be eating healthy. And just because you haven't ate it before doesn't mean you shouldn't try it now. You know, I think that you should try it. And if you don't know how to cook with it or come up with creative meals, then you tune into my channel because I'm going to teach you how. Because that's what I do. I do it really well for the most part. So you can check out my Facebook page on Jackie's Cafe. It was located in Arizona. I'll post the link below the description box, so if you guys wanted to check it out, I have most of my food on there. You might scroll through it and see a lot of my gardening posts and stuff like that, you know, because during the summertime I have to build it. You have to allow it time to grow, you know, so I teeter between the two. Once my stuff grows, then I harvest it, I cut it off and everything, take it in the house, wash it up. I even show you how to wash it, how to clean your stuff, and then I show you how to cook with it, you know. So yeah, check it out sometime. It might be beneficial to you, and if not, hey, what can you lose? So let's talk about economically what it does during the time of COVID. You know, I feel like, you know, when we went through COVID, as we still going through it right now, the grocery stores are starting to have a meat shortage and things like that. And then all kinds of craziness is going on with the food and stuff like that. Not that there wasn't craziness going on with the food at first. I'm just a big believer that I eat at home 90% of the time anyway, because it's been so dangerous to eat food out. I mean, with people licking ice creams in stores and stuff like that, and, you know, doing all kinds of crooked stuff in restaurants with the food, you know, when you piss the waitress off or whatever. So so it's actually better, healthier, and safer to eat at home. So when I grow my food at home or whatever, I eat my stuff 90% of the time anyway, so not a big deal to me. But okay, so let's get to the part about, I got like a little paper down here because people had asked me questions. I'm like, I'm just going to address all of this in a video. Okay, so I talked about how I started my garden and how you can start it from an apartment. You can start it from a condo. It doesn't have to be, you have to have a house or you have to have land to do it. In my apartment, like I said, I started with herbs and things like that. I also, now that I moved into this new house, and even in an apartment, you can have a separate room, and that could be your green room, you know, or if you want to have like a little small closet. But you have to be really careful. If you have a really, really small space, then limit your indoor garden to, let's say apartment, limit your indoor garden to only herbs, no vegetables, you know, unless you're going to put them outside on the balcony, or if you're going to hang them, you know, from the railing of your balcony. You can get some hang baskets and put things in there, like some tomatoes. People ask me, well, what can I grow inside my apartment? You can grow tomatoes. You can start certain vegetables, but doesn't mean that they need to be planted outside during the summertime for better growth. Okay, so let's say you wanted to start watermelon or so in an apartment. You can start it inside your house, you know, under a grow light. You can get some grow lights from Home Depot. Okay, so grow lights could get really expensive. Let's just be real about that. You know, and everybody complains about good quality soil. Those things can get really complicated, but if you're new and you're starting, you get a bag of Miracle Grow. Don't listen to what other people talking about, some of that commercial stuff, and they got all kinds of stuff in it. Scratch that. Don't listen to them. Just, if you're getting started, Miracle Grow is fine. You know, look at my other video. I'm going to post it here or here. Somewhere down here. I'm trying to do what the YouTubers do. I'm not that great at it. So, look at that video. I show you how to sterilize your soil. And that will really help, okay? We'll get into soil, the quality of soil, another time. I think I did a video talking about where you can go to get free soil. You don't necessarily have to pay for it, and that's the best soil and mulch ever, wood chips and things like that. So let's just talk about the investment part of it. Okay, so the containers that you see here that I got them from Home Depot. They were $30 a piece. I also did a video on the breakdown of it and what it looks like inside, how it comes with the drainage and things like that. So you can check that video out as well. $30. I know that sounds like a lot. You don't necessarily have to get these containers. You can get something else. I've seen people use buckets. I've seen people start, if they're starting a plant or seedings, I've seen them use egg carts. You can use anything. I've seen them use shoe boxes, plastic shoe boxes, like the ones you get from Walmart and stuff like that, the dollar store. You've seen me use dollar store containers and things like that. So the dollar store has they have like a little section for gardening. So you can get anything from there. They have little labels, they have pots, pans. I mean, you know, the pots for the soil and the starter kits and stuff like that. Go to the dollar store. They got some really good treats in there for you to get started with. Okay, so this is just what I chose to do. I put mine on table. Look, I'm pointing back here like, because I know y'all looking in the back at my stuff. I got these tables. The tables, you can get them on Facebook Marketplace. People are selling these tables for a little or nothing. You can get them free. You can, if you have any table in the house, they don't have to be this one. You know, I just wanted a uniform look. I have an OCD problem, so I'm like, I want a uniform look. It has to be neat back here, you know. So yeah, got these tables. You can get them from Lowe's, Costco's. I got these expensive ones because of COVID. The Target was right down the street. They was $50 from Target. You know, you can get them for less. I've seen them other place for less. Okay, and the City Slicker boxes or whatever, I chose to get many of those because first of all, they last longer. They last, and if I decide to move, I can just take them with me. You know, I don't have to reinvest. You know, like I said, they're $30. I got 11. You know, so that's $330. The tables, I got 4 of them. $200. So this stuff adds up for me. But like I said, I won't ever have to buy these things no time soon. You know why I did the high tables? I did the tables to lift my stuff up off the ground because I didn't want to contend with the pests, the rodents, the bugs, and things like that. You see all of these trees I have in the backyard? All of this greenery, and it's like a forest of trees on this other side and stuff. I'm like, oh my God, I know some kind of possums and stuff are living in there. I don't want them coming up to the property eating my stuff. So I'm gonna just lift the tables, lift them up off the ground. I don't want to kill my back. I'm just going to lift them up off the ground and put my stuff in grow boxes. Now, with the grow box challenges, let me tell you what those are. Your stuff takes a little more time to grow. Okay, you can grow good stuff. You know, you have to just kind of know what you're doing, you know, and get started a little early, you know. So start your seeding on the inside of your house. A good gardener starts early, they start in the wintertime, like I did. I started in the wintertime, like January, and I started planting my seeds inside my green room, you know, under grow lights. And then when the weather broke and got warmer, I transferred it outside into these grow boxes, into the city picker boxes. That's what these are called, these orange boxes. They call city pickers. Yeah, so and then once I transferred them in there, they took off because of the nice weather and everything like that. So that's how you get started with the boxes, okay? And that's why I put them on the table, because I was trying to save my back, and in case I moved, I didn't stay here. I want to go back to Arizona. I'm in the DMV area, and I don't like it here. There's a lot of politics, da 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 da. So I'm just going to I'm like, if I want to go, I don't want to have to rebuy this stuff all over again. I'll just take my boxes with me, you know, and I'll take my tables, and then I can just recreate my garden all over again from wherever I am, okay? So that's why I started. So I guess the takeaway would be, if you're going to start your garden, first of all, decide when you're going to start it. If you're going to start it during the winter time, then you're going to start it on the inside of your house. There's some things you need to get. You need to get some grow lights. You need to get some, you know, places wherever you're going to set them. If you're going to set them in window sills, then you got to go to the dollar store and maybe get some containers that will hold those little little starter plant pots. You know, if you're not gonna, if you want to go bigger, you know, like I did for my green room, you know, then you have to create a room for that. You know, that's where the grow lights come in at. You know, when you starting plants on the inside of your house, most of the time you need grow lights. You know, you really do. You can set them in the window. A lot of people wonder why their stuff don't get started as well from the window, because at nighttime the light goes out, you know, and plants, the seeds need sunlight constantly in order to spout, you know. So that's why I've been successful at my my starter plants, because I have a grow light on them constantly, you know, downstairs in my grow room. Okay, so that's just a tip. And as far as outside containers, you can grow stuff much better in ground. We already know that. But there's also challenges with that. You have to worry about rodents. You have to worry about bugs eating your stuff. With the containers, I don't have to worry about the bugs eating my stuff. I don't have that challenge. And my stuff looks so much healthier. Sure, it takes a little longer to come in. Yes, because it grows inside the box. Do you get as much as you want? You can. I've gotten a lot, like my parsley. My parsley looks like a bush, a tree. It's taking off. So does my cilantro. And so does my collards. A lot of stuff, a lot of vegetables do great inside containers. So as far as some people saying you can grow more in ground than you can containers, not true. I've been so successful. My collard greens, man, I've seen my collard greens look just as big as some of those pictures that you see people posting about their stuff growing in ground. Look like big old bushes or trees. That's how my collard. So you can grow just as good vegetables and stuff inside your containers. It doesn't have to be a limit, or you don't have to be restricted. There's a lot of pluses to containers, you know, and definitely the tables. I don't kill my back, you know. I'm like, I ain't never had back problems, and I don't want to start now. So hopefully I answered all your questions for the most part. Oh, places you can get free soil. In your area, there should be a public works. In the public works, usually, or the parks and planning, when they cut down trees and stuff like that, they turn that stuff into mulch and cedar and stuff like that. And they usually allow the public to come and get it for free. That's where I go and get my stuff. And it's pure. It's not with all the chemicals and stuff like that. And it's free. You know, so I usually take the like a couple of big bins. I don't even have a truck, y'all. So all of this gardening and stuff like that, you don't even need a truck. I have a little CRV. And it got an empty backyard. And I take like my little storage containers, you know, and I just fill those storage containers up with the free soil that they offer and the wood chips. The wood chips are great for your for certain plants and things like that. So yeah, I'm excited about this. I hope that this information was helpful for some of you guys. If you have questions, feel free to ask me. I'm not proclaiming to know everything. I'm just sharing with you guys will work for me. And forgive me, I was a little nervous about doing this video today, but I wanted to share with you guys what I did to grow my stuff, because people had asked me, you know, about my good collard greens and stuff. So, a little piece of happiness, y'all. Grow your stuff on the inside of your house or on the outside of your house. During the wintertime, a green room is awesome. I'm telling you, it's so awesome. I love going in my green room, having me some coffee or some hot tea, and I'm down there planting stuff. I'm putting my seeds up and listening to my music, and I'm just in the zone, you know, so that I'm able to have a happy, healthy, peaceful mind frame, you know, because I actually have a full-time job too, you know, so I have a reset when I garden. When I garden, oh man, I can't even describe to you the happiness and the gratification you get from when you're eating your own growings. Okay, scratch this. Let me just say this. When you grow your own food, you know exactly what's on it. In the stores, they put all kinds of stuff on the food, pesticides and stuff, all of that stuff to keep a longer shelf life, so that when it gets to the grocery store, it's sellable. You know, you will be surprised at the stuff that they put on your vegetables and stuff like that. I'm not going to even get into that, because you guys pretty much know what they put on it. You know, y'all have an inkling. You know, but when you grow your own vegetables and stuff at home, you know what's on that stuff, you know. And a lot of times I can eat my stuff right out the pot, because I don't put a whole lot of stuff on it. It grows successfully without me putting a whole lot of stuff on it. You know, I just get good soil. I sterilize my soil if I'm getting some commercial bought soil or whatever. Let's just face it, because certain soils you have to buy commercial. You know, not everybody knows how to do compost soil. Not everybody has the means to do that. When you're doing compost, definitely large amounts of stuff like that, you need a bigger space, or open space to do it. Because I'm going to tell you, if you're trying to grow it in a little house like that I'm doing now, big amounts of it, your neighbors are not going to appreciate the smell and the stuff that it comes with. So you kind of need an open space, more like a farm area or acres of kind of space if you're doing it big. But to do a small, I do compost inside my house. I'm going to do a video to show y'all how I do my compost, and it goes a long ways. So that'll be my next video to y'all, is how to do some compost inside your house. And then I take some of that and I bring it out here, and I have some house plants that I put it in, and that's how my plants stay so green, they stay alive, and they stay beautiful. So I'll share my hacks with you guys. Let's have maybe like once a week or some time to come out and just have a discussion and have a Q&A. So in Jackie's outdoor garden, Jackie's Cafe Outdoor Garden, that's what this is. That's what I gotta give names for this stuff, because everybody got like their own little cliche for stuff, but I don't have like a cliche yet. So I know that I do say this all the time, don't judge me. Because there do be a lot of people who come on here and they be judging you, and they, you know, saying what they can do better and stuff like that. And I'm like, yeah, I'm sure you can do it better, but this is just what I choose to do. You do it your way, I do it my way. Isn't that the beauty of having your own place? You can do things your way. You don't have to listen to somebody else, you know. So, yeah. Sip on that. So, yeah, let's have a Q&A, and let's come out here, because this is gratifying to be able to talk to you guys and share with you guys and answer your questions and things like that, you know. So tomorrow I am going to, since it's Memorial Day weekend. Y'all like my umbrella, by the way? I got this last year. There was a flower on my hand. I got this last year from Walmart. Somebody asked me where did I get the colorful umbrella, and I got some lights on it because I be sitting out here at night with my music and my wine, and I be out here. I just like to sit out here sometimes and be in my garden because it's peaceful, you know. But I got the umbrella from Home Depot. Oh, guess what, y'all? I meant to say this too. I talk about sterilizing your soil because it also keeps the mosquitoes down. When you buy when you buy commercial soil, right, from the soil, I can't blame it on the alcohol. No, when I buy commercial soil from the store, I sterilize it because soon as you plant it, you will see the mosquitoes arising from the soil. Okay, so really watch my video on how to sterilize your soil. I'm sitting out here, I can sit out here all day long. All this greenery, there's no mosquitoes out here biting me. I don't have any repellent stuff on or anything. There's no bugs bothering me and stuff like that. That's why I'm able to sit out here all the time, because the soil that's in those boxes is sterilized and they have wood chips and things like that, you know, so I don't have to worry about that. Just something for you to think about. Sip on that. So yeah, let's come back next week and let's talk about and show our progress with the, you know, with the boxes. I know y'all want to see receipts on some of this stuff, and I don't mind showing y'all what my growth look like, so y'all can, if some of y'all are skeptical about doing container gardening, y'all can see the receipts on my stuff and know I'm not just talking trash. You be like, oh, she was pretty successful at growing it from a box or a container and things like that, so maybe I'll give it a try. These are actually good to go on your balcony for the apartment people, you know, because they come with rollers, believe it or not. I don't have the rollers on my boxes because I didn't want them rolling off the table, even though you can lock the wheels. But I was just like, no, that's too much. It gets too high after a while, and while I'm trying to water it, I don't want to be up here what I'm trying to, thank God I shaved my arms. But I don't want to be trying to reach, you know, while I'm trying to water it, you know. So this is a good height for me. I just left the wheels off. But the great thing about the wheels, if you have a balcony, you can put it on the ground, you know, and you can water it. And look, you don't have to put holes in this thing because it has a self-watering system. So that way, if you watering your stuff, it's not spilling out off of the balcony onto the people downstairs, you know, the water and the mud and the soil and stuff like that. It has a self-watering system. So you can water your stuff and you can roll it in the house when the weather get bad. And let's say you got a tomato plant in there and the wind is blowing and stuff like that. You don't want to lose your, you know, your tomato plant. You can roll it on the inside of your house. It even comes with a cover. So you can cover your food up in the case of, let's say, cold weather. Cold weather, you put the cover on it, you cut the holes out, and then stick your food up through the holes. And that way, you know, it keeps the heat on the inside of your soil so your plants don't die. You know, some people can do that, or you can just bring your thing in the house. That's the great part about those containers, you know. And whatever needs shade, because not all things that you plant need full sunlight. Some of them need shade. And so the tables, I can take a container off of the table and I can put it under the table if it needs shade, you know. So there's a lot of benefits to this, y'all, you know. So I say do containers and do the tables, lift it up, be easy on your back. You only get one back. Once you start having back problems, you got them for a lifetime. The only thing you can do is manage them, you know. So I never had back problems, and I just really don't want to start now. That's why I started putting my stuff on tables. I don't like bending down, you know. So yeah. Okay, y'all, that's enough talking for today. I'm so glad you guys tuned in, and I should talk to you guys later. See ya.